Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 12 rounds, and it'll be for the Commonwealth, Vacant British, and Vacant WBO Inter-Continental Super Bantamweight Championships. Brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions, along with their great sponsors, 32 Red and Unibet. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, Steward in Charge Matt Harris, along with the World Boxing Organization, President Francisco Paco Ladecarcel, Supervisor John Handelar, Commonwealth Supervisor Debbie Down, Timekeeper is Jason Booth. Our 3 judges assigned, all from England, will be Michael Alexander, John Latham, and Terry O'Connor. Our referee in charge will be Steve Gray of England. Introducing to you first, the challenger, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing gold with silver and black, and weighed in officially at 8 stone, 9 pounds. Coming to us from Liverpool, England, he brings an undefeated record with 11 wins. 3 of his 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brad Strand! And his opponent across the ring, he is the defending champion, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing green with black and weighed in the same as his opponent, 8 stone, 9 pounds. Hailing from Maidstone, Kent, England, he is undefeated with 14 wins, 1 draw, 8 of his 14 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the reigning and defending Commonwealth Super Bantamweight Champion, Dennis "The Menace" McCann!
Okay, boys, if I call break, I expect you to stop punching and take a step back. Don't deliberately throw punches around the back of the head, and protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck, boys.
Final words from referee Steve Gray. He's been prowling in there, Dennis McCann. This is a fight we've all been looking forward to. No one more so than promoter Frank Warren, who says this is his personal favourite on the bill tonight. Both unbeaten, plenty of hardware on the line, and there's been some needle in the build-up as well. Dennis McCann and Brad Strand ready to go toe-to-toe, Richie.
We've all been looking forward to this one, haven't we? And as you said, Fletch, someone's has got to go here. 2 very good boxers indeed. McCann, the southpaw, likes to box on that front foot, but he's up against a very skillful Bradley Strand from Liverpool, who's got a very good jab indeed. So it's going to be a clash of styles here, and who can handle the other one.
Well, that's a little fascinating aside, isn't it? Brad Strand, a Scouser, fighting out of the Everton Red Triangle gym, and now Dennis McCann's based in the city as well, working with Joe McNally, so that's something else that just adds another layer to it. McCann, who suffered his first blemish in his last fight, held to a draw by the hard as nails Yonuk Baluta in the summer. A technical draw after a nasty cut in the 9th, but in reality that was a hard night for McCann. He says in the last 6 months he's gone from a boy to a man, and I suppose this fight tonight will show us whether that's the case.
Well, I think he learned a lot in the Baluta fight. It was a tough fight indeed, and it just looked like the tide was turning for Baluta, but nevertheless I think Dennis McCann answered a lot of questions in that contest, showed a lot of bottle, and showed that he's not only a good boxer, but he can grind it out as well. But he's in against a skillful man here in Bradley Strand, who will have had very good sparring for this contest. Remember, the Everton Red Triangle gym, boxers like Peter McGrail, he's been sparring him, who's a class act former Olympian, so he'll have had good sparring. They prepare well up there, and yeah, this is going to be an interesting contest indeed.
Fluorescent green all over the trunks of Dennis McCann, and mainly brown trunks for Brad Strand, who had his best win of his career the last time out at York Hall in December against Joshua John, and he's convinced, even though he's been the quieter of the 2 in the build-up, that he knows what he's got to do in there tonight to get the win. He did admit, though, Richie, that he's got under his skin, that Dennis McCann's got under his skin. Whether Brad Strand can keep his composure tonight, that's going to be important for him.
It's going to be very important to keep your composure. If your opponent has rattled you before the contest, you've got to stay composed and stay disciplined in there. And already both boxers just looking to land the odd single shot here and there. It's a battle of distance, you see, with that front foot orthodox southpaw situation. It's always who can get close to land the shot or bring your opponent onto the punch.
Dennis McCann, the southpaw, the orthodox stance of Brad Strand. Sometimes those feet can get tangled up. We'll keep an eye on that. Swinging with a big left hand there, Dennis McCann, that just fell short, although Strand saw it coming from a mile away. Decent right jab there, which got a round of applause from Joe McNally in his corner from Dennis McCann. And there's the bell to end the first. Welcome back to Birmingham. There's Liam Smith from the boxing family from Liverpool. The Smith family boxing royalty in the city. Here tonight watching this one between Dennis McCann and Brad Strand. He was in Dennis McCann's dressing room earlier tonight. Liam Smith, a lot of people keen to watch this, Bill, which has gone off to a brilliant start. The win for Pierce O'Leary, the stoppage victory as well for Owen Cooper. And now this one's third up tonight. Dennis McCann, the Commonwealth Super Bantamweight champion. The Vacant British title is on the line tonight, as well as the Vacant WBO Inter-Continental title. That's a good shot, Dennis McCann, who always looks for the knockout. First serious punch that's landed tonight, and Brad Strand has to take the count.
Yeah, good shot from McCann, quick feet in, and just catches Bradley Strand quite cold at the start of this round. So how can Bradley Strand come back from that? Can he respond? But he's certainly got caught there with a good shot from Dennis McCann, who's strong on that front foot and landing with some good punches.
Well, McCann wants to be spectacular, always looks for the finish, wants stoppage victories, and the first significant punch tonight has come from him. And Brad Strand at the minute just having to get through this little period. He's in survival mode at the moment in there.
Just thought towards the...
Good shot again.
again!
Long left from McCann. Strand's legs betraying him in there. McCann might be a good solid shot away from actually winning this early. Strand has to regroup.
Yeah, that was a long, wasn't it? Long-range shot there from McCann, but it landed flush. And Bradley Strand, I don't know whether he's recovered yet.
He's caused a bit of damage under the left eye of Strand as well. There's quite a bit of swelling under there already, reddening around the nose as well. Really good second round this for Dennis McCann. There's still a lot of time to go as well.
Strand just waiting a little bit too long on the outside, probably not fully recovered, to be quite honest, Fletch. But he's got to bring his right hand into play, but McCann, again, a good shot, good left hand from McCann.
Yeah, nice and accurate, plenty of power. There's a clubbing right that just lands on the forehead of Brad Strand. Still a minute to go in the second. Really good work early on here from Dennis McCann. Questions were asked after the fight with Baluta, but he's got away to regroup. He's working with a different trainer. And the early signs are very promising here. That's a decent sharp shot, though, back from Brad Strand.
Yeah, McCann went to the body there, didn't he? And didn't get that left hand of his on guard back quick enough, and gets caught with a shot from Strand. But again, it's been all Dennis McCann this round, and Strand again just waiting for McCann to come into range. Just can't get his right hand into play. And it's McCann who's just seizing the initiative here.
Looks as though Strand's going to make it through the second round, and he'll need the minute between rounds just to regroup again. That's another solid shot by Dennis McCann. Really strong round, Richie, for McCann.
Yeah, it was indeed. It was a good round for McCann. They'll be well pleased in that corner. That left hand of his, every time he's thrown it, he's hitting the target.
Patience is a virtue, son, okay? When you got someone on clear street like that, just put the pressure and put the shot together, find a gap. Don't look for the hole.
Let's have a look at it here. Dennis McCann just waiting. Actually, a good reverse 1-2 there, wasn't it? Left hand went out first, then he finishes on that straight right. There it was there. Sort of a chopping shot indeed. A reverse 1-2, if anything, and catches Bradley Strand flush. This one was sent sort of, he launched it from way too far out, if anything, but it hones in on the target and bang on the button.
It was interesting that Joe McNally was saying to him, listen, patience is a virtue, son. When you've got someone wobbling like that, just take your time. So out they come for the third. McCann working behind that southpaw lead right hand. Better work by Strand there at the start of the round.
Yes, it is. But there's a confident look now about Dennis McCann. He's coming forward, just looking for the opportunities in the openings. Strand's going to try and trigger him off and then bring him onto that right hand. But again there, just beaten to the punches in McCann. Beating him with that left hand.
He's got the power, Dennis McCann, to bother Brad Strand in there. Might be just one or two seeds of doubt in the Scouser's mind as well in the third. He's looked really sharp to this point, McCann, as good as I've seen him, I think, Richie.
Classic tactic as well with his front foot, just keeping Bradley Strand. He's putting his foot on the outside and starts bringing Bradley Strand round to his right and onto his left hand. Onto McCann's left hand. You see he's drifting again, Strand, so he's got to watch what he's doing. So it's good footwork from McCann, keeping his foot on the outside. But that's better work there from Bradley Strand.
Strand just missing with that quick right, having pounced off the ropes. Dennis McCann was all business when he made his way to the ring, and he was staring Strand down during the introductions. Very satisfied by the round he had in the second, where he had Strand on the canvas.
It's a little bit better work from Strand, but he's still waiting probably a little bit too long, Fletch. Occasionally he's got to try and push maybe Dennis McCann back. It's McCann that's been always on that front foot and has had the better of it. This round's been slightly better for Strand, and if he can push McCann back occasionally, a little bit too far out there, but that's probably what he needs.
McCann left Alan Smith after the Baluta fight. He worked for a little while with Ricky Funes in Los Angeles, but then settled on Joe McNally. Early signs of their working relationship are good. It's the third southpaw that Strand's faced. Solid shot there towards the end of the round, and just a little smirk on the face of Dennis McCann when it landed, and there's the bell. Welcome back to Birmingham. There's Nick Ball. I consider him the very unfortunate Nick Ball, who lost his world title, well, drew his world title. Shot must feel like a defeat for him against Ray Vargas. I've got to say, Richie, I didn't agree with the judges. I thought Nick Ball had won the fight, certainly by his performance in the second half of it.
Yeah, he won the contest, he just didn't get the decision he needs, so, you know, he'll go again. Quality kid, Nick Ball. He'll learn from it. But his teammate here, he's really up against it. And McCann showing a lot of confidence now in this contest. And Bradley Strand, he just doesn't seem to have the confidence in his own right hand. It's launched him too far out. He just doesn't seem to be able to connect with it. That's a little bit better. Which has surprised me. There's been the odd occasion where he could have landed it, but he just hasn't thrown it with any conviction, really. And it's McCann that's just growing in confidence. We need to see something different from Bradley Strand.
Tried to whip that long left in again there. McCann just flashed across the front of Brad Strand's chin. McCann first went to the gym as a 5-year-old. He was labouring on roofs with his dad when he was 11. Well, he only has one kidney too. I mean, it's a remarkable story, really. Led to him losing his boxing licence for a while, but everything that seems to get thrown at him seems to find a way to deal with it. And Strand's a Liverpool fan, boxes in the same gym as Nick Pauly, we've just seen ringside here tonight. 4 years older than Dennis McCann at 27. I think when it's at range like this, Brad Strand's quite comfortable, but when he explodes forward, Dennis McCann, that's when the issues come.
Yeah, I think looking at both boxers, it's McCann who seems more comfortable, doesn't he? Especially going forward, he's got better head movement than Strand. Probably Bradley Strand's waiting a little bit too long, and he's warming into the contest now, Bradley Strand. He started far too slow, so he is having a bit of success here and there. But as McCann goes forward, he has that confident look about him. Strand's got to probably throw the jab a little bit more to bring McCann over the front foot, to bring his right hand into play. You see, that's the shot. That's what the shot he's got to produce more and more of. Be more of a nuisance with that lead hand to get a response from Dennis McCann coming forward, and that's when he could probably bring his right hand into play.
20 seconds to go in the fourth of a contest scheduled for 12. Missing with that right hand. Good shot right at the end, a short left hook that just rocked his head back from Dennis McCann. So welcome back to Birmingham. It's a who's who at ringside. You can see Liam Smith, and just behind him there he is, Cal Brook, who's here watching tonight as well. Josh Taylor behind. It's a real gathering down there, Richie.
Some classy boxers there, yeah, indeed.
So out they come for the fifth, and that little short, sharp punch right at the end of the round from Dennis McCann was another decent one from him that just jolted the head of Brad Strand back just before the bell.
Yep, slightly better work from Strand, though, in that round. Because he did more of it, he's got to be busier. And again, McCann seems to have that patient look about him, doesn't he? And he's got good movement in front. That's lovely boxing, that is, from McCann. Moving side to side with the head and then coming back with 2 or 3 punch combination there. So again, confidence-wise, he looks very confident indeed, does Dennis McCann. It was interesting listening to Paul Stevenson in that corner. Bradley Strand's coach said he wants to use the right uppercut a little bit more, and for him to do that, he's got to bring Dennis McCann onto that shot. He's got to feint with his jab, just adjust his feet, and as Dennis McCann comes in over the front foot, then whip that right uppercut through. That's what he wants. To land that shot, though, is difficult. You've got to get the timing right, and you've got to bring the opponent. You've got to catch him as he's coming forward.
McCann's just been too sharp, hasn't he, so far tonight? Hands have been quicker, punches have been more accurate. I mean, the early signs have been working with Joe McNally are promising, Richie. What have you seen from him tonight that's impressed you?
Well, I just think his old demeanour, he looks very impressive indeed. He looks confident. When he's not actually punching, I think his movement is good. He's kept Strand moving, drifting around onto his left hand, keeping his foot on the outside. A classic southpaw tactic. And yeah, he's boxed well up to now. I'd just like to see Bradley Strand a little bit busier. And if he gets busier, then, you know, he can get his way back, find a way back into it. But it's difficult for him at this stage.
It's been all business as well tonight, hasn't he? Dennis McCann completely concentrated on the job in hand, paying all the respect to Brad Strand. Still really waiting for something, aren't we, from Strand to give him that little jolt of confidence that he might need. All the good stuff so far in there has been from Dennis McCann. There's not really been a period in the fight where you felt that Strand was starting to get on top.
Well, you know what amazes me here, Fletch, you know, I've got a lot of friends in Liverpool and they all speak about Bradley Strand in high regard, and they hold him in high regard, and they all say what a great jab he's got. But here he's not really using that shot, and it's probably the shot he needs most of all here, because he needs to be busier, he needs to be busy with his lead hand, and that'll bring his backhand into play also.
Welcome back to Birmingham. And there's Zach Parker, who we're going to see in the ring next tonight, up against the former world champion Tyron Zuiger. Final few preparations taking place in there.
Round 6.
This is for the Commonwealth Super Bantamweight title, which is in the possession of Dennis McCann, as well as the vacant British title and the vacant WBO Inter-Continental title as well. And we're into the 6th round of 12 here in Birmingham. The green and black for Dennis McCann and the gold, silver and black of Liverpool's Brad Strand.
Good work again from McCann with the left hand. The first one was a straight shot. Second one was that little left uppercut downstairs. And again, started this round good, again, good work. Little simple 1-2. Catches Brad Strand off guard there. And he's just content to stay at distance, and he really has got to get into another gear here, Bradley Strand.
Been very efficient with his punches, Dennis McCann, as well. He hasn't wasted too many, has he?
Well, I don't think there's been a lot coming back to actually trouble McCann. That's the problem, and he's grown in confidence as this contest has gone on, and probably expected more from Bradley Strand, who just he's not with it tonight. The straight shots aren't there, the jab's not there. He's waiting again, far too long.
It's that southpaw lead of Dennis McCann that's been the most accurate punch there. He just dug in a decent left hook to the body as well there that drew applause from his corner, and it might just have knocked the wind out of Brad Strand's sails, that one, because he's been on the retreat since then. There's another body shot that's aimed in by McCann.
Yeah, but not only on the retreat. When McCann gets close, then he was trying to grab there, Bradley Strand, so that just shows the effect of that shot. A good shot downstairs. Again, getting caught. It makes me actually wonder whether actually Bradley Strand may have an injury of some sort to the hand. I don't know, but you know, there's not a lot of shots coming from him. And again, McCann is sensing that the victory's close here.
Yeah, really solid body shot again. The work to the body in this round has been really effective. 30 seconds to go, round 6. And there's not a great deal coming back from Brad Strand. He tried to throw the right hand there. Dennis McCann, the dominant man. Another body shot. I think he feels he's managed to soften him up there, Richie.
Yeah, he's got him downstairs with a couple of good shots in this round.
A lot of damage to the nose of Brad Strand as well. Starting to go wrong for him here in the 6th. It's been a big round for Dennis McCann. Completely dominant in there at the moment. Really,
and there's big Fraser Clark.
He's here as well. Of course he's here. Everybody's here tonight.
Yes, indeed.
He's got Fabio Wardley coming up for the British title. Yeah. A lot of fighters on the up in the arena tonight. The superstars of tomorrow here watching this stacked card, the Magnificent 7, and it really has started off magnificently, hasn't it?
Yeah, tremendous first couple of fights, and this one now is warming up also. A more measured contest. But a great round for Dennis McCann in that last round.
This feels like a big round for Brad Strand. Round 7, second half of the fight. just felt like it was really starting to be dominated by Dennis McCann in the 6th.
Yeah, he was getting caught, wasn't he? A couple of shots downstairs certainly slowed him up a little bit. And again, McCann has started the same way as he finished that last round, Fletch.
One-way traffic at the moment for Dennis McCann. Strand manages to reply with a body shot of his own, but these are concerning times for the man from Liverpool. Solid shot from McCann. Damage to the nose, a lot of blood coming from there. One thing he has listened to tonight from Joe McNally is to be patient. He's never been rushing in, even when it feels like he's got Strand in a bit of trouble. He's gone back to his work and done exactly what his corner's been telling him.
Yeah, he's been chipping away, hasn't he, with that jab. Fairly wide stance, Dennis McCann, but sometimes he comes in from that crouched position and it can be difficult to hit. But yeah, he's listened to his corner. Like I say, when he's not punching, there's good movement from him, his head. And again, Bradley Strand waiting a little bit too long and trying to catch McCann as he's coming forward, but it's McCann that's landing the better shots.
It's been a very methodical performance to this point from Dennis McCann. He's very accurate with his shots. He's been the dominant man in there ever since he had Strand down early in the fight. There's a bit of talk about a fight with Liam Davis down the line. I know that Frank Warren's always felt that McCann's got the talent to go to the very top.
Well, he's certainly improving, isn't he? His last 3 or 4 contests, he's got a few rounds under his belt. And this is a very mature display at the moment, very disciplined.
Rich, he must have learned a bundle from the Baluta fight, just the way it went.
Yeah, and I was impressed with him in the Baluta fight. I thought he showed a lot of bottle, a lot of grit. We've seen him outbox people in the past, but he had to really dig in there. And yes, it was getting tough for him, and there was a cut, and then it was stopped. It was obviously a draw, but nevertheless, I thought he showed some good qualities in that contest, McCann.
It's another round where he's controlled proceedings in there as he makes his way back to his stool, and we can have a listen into what Joe McNally's got to say.
Fantastic work, mate. Now listen, you're winning these rounds, but sometimes with the singles, it can be a little bit closer, okay? You landed in a clear bunches, but I just need you to be a bit busy. Yeah, what you got to get out of that? Oh, mate. No, he's looking for this and the body shot. Listen, when he looks to come into that, just drop the left hand in. Just drop it straight, okay? Breathe in. But make him take it. Listen, you've got to look that threshold, son. Yeah? You can't let him go singles, take the rest, you've got to be on him. Catch your people, come nice and tight, and then work the body. Just give me a round like this, intelligence, and let's see how he reacts, okay? Beautiful. Keep the hand tight, shin down, straight and close.
No surprise, they're very happy in there, Richie.
Yeah, they are very happy. And I think it's been a very measured performance at this stage from Dennis McCann. Certainly Bradley Strand has he struggled with the style in front of him. His timing's been a little bit off here, Bradley Strand, tonight, and his right hand certainly hasn't been effective. And that jab that he's very well known for just hasn't been there tonight. But you have to give credit to McCann. This has been a good display up to now.
McCann started to try and put his punches together. That's what Joe McNally wanted to see. That was the instruction between rounds. You're winning rounds with single shots. That's good work, though, from Strand. A rare combination.
Yeah, but at the same time, we've just gone back on that back foot. I'd just like to see him push McCann back occasionally. We haven't seen that from Bradley Strand. There's a good exchange there from him earlier, but then, like we just said, but Just back on the outside. That's a little bit better. But again, he's just prepared just to stay on the outside and wait for McCann to come forward.
Just trying to make it a bit more competitive in the 8th. I mean, he's got to get on with it. He's got to get cracking. He's got to drag himself back in. Just walked onto one there, though, from McCann on his way in.
Again, accuracy and timing just seems to be with McCann, just slightly better.
So southpaw jab that's been the dominant punch tonight, isn't it? From Dennis McCann. Final 40 seconds of the 8th round.
He's actually presenting Strand with a few more opportunities now. I think he's that confident, McCann, the way he's coming forward. But occasionally he's holding his feet and he's coming forward, not recklessly, but it's giving Strand the other chance to land the right hand. So Strand's got to try and do a little bit better here. But he needs 2 phases. You catch the opponent as he's coming forward and then push on again. And double that attack up. Now he needs to go again, you see. That was a good combination, but then he just sat back and waited for McCann to come forward again.
Dennis McCann with a glare at the end of the round. That's 8 done here in this one. And there's the man who's top of the bill tonight, Nathan Heaney, defending his British middleweight title that he won in the upset of the year, a fight that was judged to be the upset of the year when he beat Denzel Bentley to get his hands on the Lonsdale belt. Tonight he's up against Brad Pauls. He's going to be cheered on by about 2,000 supporters from Stoke. He's pretty much hand-delivered all the tickets. They're all going to make a gigantic noise when he comes into Delilah. And I know he's as excited as anybody to be top of the bill tonight.
Indeed, and you know he seems to revel, isn't he, in that atmosphere, what the crowd make, and he loves it, and he raises his game for it.
You're a bit tired. You can do this for 25 rounds.
Seconds out.
Well, the Baluta fight was the first time McCann had been past the 8th round, and he's never been past the 9th. Strand went 10 for the first time last time out against Joshua John. Into the 9th here, scheduled for 12. And McCann defending his Commonwealth Super Bantamweight title, and they're also fighting for the vacant British and the vacant IBO Inter-Continental belts as well. The green and black of Dennis McCann and the gold, black and white of Brad Strand.
Well, I think Strand did better in that last round, I think, because he did more work. He worked a little bit harder. And that's what he's got to do. He's got to up the work rate a little bit. Again, he's just staying on the outside, waiting for McCann to come into range. But it's McCann. That's just, I think that the pace is suiting him. He's picking his shots a little bit better. So probably we need to see a little bit more work from Bradley Strand. Remember, McCann in his last 5 fights has been into the 8th round, and he's learned from them fights. Again, he still looks very composed in there.
Uppercut sent in there from Dennis McCann.
Just gets caught with a short right hand from Strand there. That was a tidy little shot, but McCann, I think, he's prepared to take a punch to land these body shots, and again he's going downstairs. Feels that's where Bradley Strand may be vulnerable.
It's been a similar pattern pretty much in all of the rounds, bar the one where Strand was on the canvas, but It's been a recurring theme, really, the way that McCann's gone about his work and the accuracy that he's had, and he's continued to pile up the points. As Richie's mentioned, there have been one or two moments where Strand's had a bit of success, but nowhere near enough of them tonight.
No, and there's never been a time where Bradley Strand has sort of held his ground. This is better, that's what he's got to do. Now he's got to push McCann back. We've never seen that from him. It's just the odd glimpse here and there, 2 or 3 shots, but then he goes back on the outside.
Left hand got through there from Strand. As Richie says, he's just trying to find, or starting to find, a little bit more accuracy. There's the body shot again, though, and whenever he lands them, it just stops Strand in his tracks.
And I think McCann senses that.
OK, then, let's head backstage here, because we're going to see Zach Parker next, and he's talking to Raven Chapman.
Zach, up against a former world champion tonight. What can you expect?
Yeah, a tough fight. You're not a world champion for no reason, and obviously he's been there with some good lads, so he's going to bring it, so I've got to be on my A game.
Good win tonight. Can we see a big 2024 for you?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, I'm with the right people. Manager Neil Marsh, and obviously BCB, and obviously Frank and Queensbury. So yeah, I'm with the right people to get some big fights out there.
Well, wish you all the best tonight.
Thank you.
So Zach Parker coming next. Tyron Zeuger from Berlin, former world champion, his opponent tonight.
10 seconds.
He's got some big plans ahead. Zach Parker, there's talk about him jumping in with Anthony Yard at light heavyweight, campaign as a super middleweight for so long, but I think he feels he can carry the weight and take on the bigger men. So an important fight coming up for him. This is the 10th round now in this one between Dennis McCann and Brad Strand. Dennis McCann into the 10th round, Richie, for the first time in his career, so a learning fight for him from this point, never been here before.
Yeah, and he looks fairly confident going into this 10th round. And like I said, because of his previous 4 or 5 contests going into the 8th round, then he's fairly confident, I think, in his fitness and the way he's gone about his business here. He's boxed very well on that front foot. It's been a patient display up to now. As the contest's gone on, Bradley Strand has had a little bit more success, but again, the start of this round probably waiting a little bit too long to land those shots.
Strand at the moment backed into his own corner, but fights well off the ropes there, Strand. It just made McCann go backwards. No knockdown, despite the count being started. Steve Gray indicating it's just a slip. There's a lot of damage around the nose of Strand, which has caused him a problem for a couple of rounds now.
Yeah, and it's one of the first times they've seen Bradley Strand actually push Dennis McCann back, and he did it with success there. Some good work, straight punches. McCann certainly felt them. It was positive work there from Strand.
McCann continues to throw out that southpaw lead right. Combination from McCann, that got applause from his corner, led by the trainer Joe McNally. Minute to go in the 10th.
Yeah, switching the attack as well. McCann keeps whipping the shots downstairs, but then we put a headshot in as well. There's that left uppercut to the body again, Fletch.
And a decent guard that time, being held by Strand. Blood smeared across his left cheek. Tags McCann with the left hand. McCann quickly, though, back to work behind that jab. That's been the key punch for him tonight. Controlled the fight with that.
Yeah, controlled the pace, controlled the distance with it. And he set up his backhand very well with that shot.
Caught there with that long right hand on the bell, like Dennis McCann.
That was a better round. You're just letting your hands go. And again, don't blow your nose, please, Brad. Now listen, you know better than that. Now listen, the counters, the time counters, there's no time for us. There's no time for us to defend and counter. You have to punch with him. You punch with him, you've still got a chance, you've still got 6 minutes to get rid of him, and we need to get rid of him to win, as you know. You know what I mean? And you'll do it by timing your counters as he comes in. No time to slip and counter. You slip as you counter, you punch as you move, and that's that. You landed some good ones right at the end. 5 more.
Well, that's the way that Carl Frampton's got it. He's only given Brad Strand one round, and that was the 8th. And I mean, he's quite honest in there, Paul Stevenson. He said, look, you've got 6 minutes to get him out of there, and that's the only way you're going to win. I mean, they're aware of the situation. It's whether Brad Strand can dig deep enough and find the artillery to get McCann out of there.
Yeah, Paul Stevenson's spot on, isn't he? He knows that he's way behind, and he needs to try and stop him to get this victory. See, that's better. That's a better counter there from Bradley Strand. What he wants to do as well, he wants him to get his timing right with his counters, but also counter attacks, so beat Dennis McCann to the punch as he's actually coming forward and punch with him. That's what he's talking about. But he's got to do, you know, he's got to bring him onto shots. You've got to double up the power. You've got to get McCann to come over his front foot and then catch him with that right hand left hook combination. And again, this gets picked off, and it's going to be difficult now for Bradley Strand.
McCann's just forced backwards by that right from Strand. Minute gone in the 11th round, penultimate round. Just wonder, Richie, had he gone about his work like this earlier tonight, it might have been a closer encounter, but...
Well, we spoke about it earlier, didn't we, that we hadn't really seen Bradley Strand push Dennis McCann back. Very rare occasions that happened in this contest, and we're seeing it now, and he's boxing a little bit better, a bit more positive on that front foot. But, you know, it's a classic case of too little too late here.
He's never really done enough, has he, in any round to kind of take the control away from Dennis McCann. You've always felt that whatever comes from Strand, McCann's in control of the fight.
See, that's better there, much better from Bradley Strand. Listening to his corner, getting his timing right as McCann was coming forward.
It's just taken too long for him to work the timing out. Slightly off balance there, McCann just got a cheer from the back of the arena. And he's certainly giving it a go at this stage, Strand. He's doing exactly what Paul Stevenson asked of him between rounds. Whether he's got enough time to drag himself all the way back in remains to be seen, but this is probably the best round of the fight for him, Richie.
Yeah, most certainly. Taking him this long really to work it out, but this is much better again from Strand.
Yeah, landing combinations, forcing McCann to go backwards, forcing Dennis McCann to think. 20 seconds to go, little wobble from Strand. Of course, the other side of all of this is that McCann will know that he's got a significant lead, so there's no real necessity for him to take any chances either. Although that's good work right at the end of the round again from Brad Strand. Well, the top of the bill tonight is Nathan Heaney against Brad Pauls, and we spoke to the British middleweight champion earlier.
Nathan, first defence of that British title tonight. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. It's yeah, the first defence of the beautiful Lonsdale belt. So yeah, I've got to be switched on. Brad Pauls is going to have all the motivation in the world to obviously beat me. I've just got to be switched on. We've got a great crowd there here tonight, and yeah, I've just got to do the job.
Yeah, so talking about the crowd, over 2,000 tickets sold. Are you going to use that momentum behind you in the ring tonight?
They always push me all the way through, so I have no doubt they're going to do the exact same tonight. So yeah, all I need to do is just stick to the game plan, what I need to do, and the Stokies and all my supporters are going to back me all the way.
Wish you all the best tonight, Nathan. Go smash it.
Thank you so much.
Top of the bill tonight, Nathan Heaney. I spoke to him a little earlier tonight, and he said there will be no risk of him taking his eye off the ball. He said, I've trained even harder for this one tonight than I did for Denzel Bentley, but that's all to come. That's the top of the bill. They've got to sort this one out first, and a few others, into the final round. Dennis McCann in the black and green with a significant lead over Brad Strand, defending his Commonwealth Super Bantamweight title, as well as fighting for the vacant British and WBO Inter-Continental belts as well.
Well, Strand's just had his best round of the contest in that 11th round. He's finally found a way to push Dennis McCann back, and he had some success. So it's a classic case now. Will he go for it? All out aggression on that front foot? Or will, and how will Dennis McCann handle this round? It's back management now for him. He's way ahead. Doesn't need to be taking any chances. But can Bradley Strand find those quality shots? He needs a stoppage.
Strand caught there by McCann. Has to take a risk or two, has to try and land the shot that can turn this fight his way. And he's got less than 2 minutes to do it. Still feels like McCann's controlling pretty much everything in there, despite this little late flurry from Brad Strand. Feels like a fairly mature performance tonight from McCann, Richie.
Yeah, he's boxed well throughout the contest. The last couple of rounds, certainly the last round went Bradley Strand's way, and he's started this round pretty well also, because he's upped the tempo again and worked harder. But overall, yes, you would say it's been a very measured display from Dennis McCann. It's been a disciplined performance, and Strand is getting home with a couple of good shots now, but obviously the better work was done from McCann earlier on in the contest.
McCann still counter-punching effectively in there. Not too long to go. Brad Strand running out of time to find the big punch. Got to stop Dennis McCann. He's never really looked likely to do that. He's been a lot better in the last 2 or 3 rounds, but he was so far behind by the time this started. It's a night where Dennis McCann's been in cruise control for most of it.
Yeah, and Bradley Strand, he's run out of time here because he's having his best. He's producing his best boxing in these last couple of rounds, but you've got to give credit to the man in green and black there.
He's waited right until the end, until he starts to showboat, and he raises his arms in the air and then slugs down to the canvas. There's no celebration whatsoever from Brad Strand, who I think feels he knows what's coming from the judges. But Dennis McCann being held high and being carried around the ring on the shoulders of Joe McNally, and the first time out for those two as a combination. Looks like it's going to be a successful one.
Good performance from McCann overall. I think he started the contest well measured behind his jab. Bradley Strand probably started a little bit too slow and couldn't get to grips with the pace of the contest, which suited McCann. And overall, I think Bradley Strand, you know, he lacked that jab. He couldn't measure the distance. His timing was a little bit off, and it took him probably 4 or 5 rounds to actually get into the contest. He was way off target and wasn't with it at all. But you've got to give credit to this fella. I actually thought he looked very good when he wasn't punching. His movement was good in front of Strand. And yes, overall, a good 12-round display there for McCann. It was disciplined. He'd never been 12 before, but that was a good performance against a good boxer. Bradley Strand is a very good boxer indeed, but it just wasn't his night tonight.
There's the veteran Jimmy Tibbs, who's seen most things that this sport has to offer, with an embrace for Dennis McCann. Would you think that Joe McNally would be satisfied by what he's seen tonight, based on the fact they're working together for the first time, and he's had the chance to be in the corner and see Dennis McCann up close and personal in a real fight?
He'll be very pleased indeed, won't he, the way he handled the contest. Like I've said, he's boxed very well, and it's been a good team performance. So yes, he'll be very pleased with Dennis McCann.
How good do you think he can be?
Well, the thing is, Fletch, he's answering all the questions. There's been a little bit more put in front of him, and and he's winning. Bradley Strand is a good opponent, and he's handled him very well. Baluta was a good opponent, and I thought that was a fair display against him as well. He's improving in every one, so he can only just keep improving. If they give him the right matches, who knows how far he can go. Liam Davies is also in the division, so there potentially you have an absolute blockbuster of a contest, maybe for a world title fight one day.
Well, the judges for this one, Michael Alexander, John Latham and Terry O'Connor. Let's find out how they've scored it. Thomas Trider.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Terry O'Connor scores it 118 to 111. Judge Michael Alexander scores it 116 to 111. And Judge John Latham scores it 116 to 112. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, and now the Commonwealth, British, and WBO Intercontinental Super Bantamweight Champion, Dennis "The Menace" McCann.
Gets the decision. He's held aloft in the ring. There's his promoter, Frank Warren. But I think, Becky, having seen his face when the scores were being read out, he felt it was wider.
Yeah, we totally agree. Dennis "The Menace" McCann there, looking slightly shocked with the judges' scorecard there. But nevertheless, look, we billed this tonight, Carl, Steve, as possibly the fight of the night. Did it live up to that, though, for you?
No, it didn't. It was really one-sided. I think it was an excellent performance from Dennis McCann. His movement from start to finish was very, very good. It was something that Bradley Strand really struggled with. I think one of the issues for Bradley Strand as well is, now I'm no doctor, but when that knockdown came in the second round, I think his nose may have been broke. It was very, very red. Not a lot of blood, but very red. And I think that was something that affected him going forward. But he just couldn't really deal with Dennis's southpaw stance, I don't think.
And you saw the last 3 rounds, certainly in the last 2 rounds. That was a knockdown in the second car I was talking about.
I think this is potentially where you think the nose injury occurred.
It definitely is, and it's a heavy knockdown as well. That's like force as opposed to timing or getting clipped. That's power knocking you over, and that's how it goes down each other's. If you look at the last 2 rounds, Carl, take away the knockdown, take away the damaged nose. Those last 2 rounds was how we wanted to start, because then round 3 is going to be great. Round 4 is going to be even better. Unfortunately, we got basically a pineapple upside down boxing cake.
The instructions from Paul Stevenson going out for the last 2 rounds were you got to punch with him now. You can't try and counter him. When he's punching, you have to punch with him. Maybe, I don't know, maybe if that advice had came a little bit sooner, it may have worked out a little bit better for him, but I think McCann was very, very good tonight.
What are the conversations around Dennis McCann now? Where do you go from here?
I like him a lot. Like, I mean, I think that he's a hot prospect. He obviously had that little blip against Baluta, but he's a very, very good fighter. He's someone that I've always rated highly. I think you can see his power coming through a little bit tonight. And I've been up close and seen him sparring a couple of times, and I always thought that he was a puncher. Hasn't really translated in the fight performances, but tonight you could see that he'd hurt Bradley